Hello, everyone, and welcome to the HHW Show podcast. The one and only Hector V in the house with Obi-Wan. And of course, we don't have Frank with us, but he may pop in. He might pop out. I don't know. It's a mystery with Frank, but that's okay because not only that, we'll get his picks later on, but tonight's show is definitely the Night of Champions prediction. That's right. And so much. I know it's been a big gap between our last broadcast till now, but we had to squeeze this in to make it official of our picks because there's a lot of wrestling going on, a lot of last
Yeah,
minute squeeze in and everything else. But Hector, since we last talked and everything else out the development, man, I gotta tell you, this main event, John Cena versus CM Punk, it's almost like we're seeing the flip switch on this.
yes, we have, and yes, we are. I mean, you are two of the best on the microphone, but yeah, the roles have reversed between these two, and John Cena's got the upper hand at the moment. But can
Yes,
that
and
change?
I know on my screen I have John Cena and Jacob Fatu right there at Night of Champions because those are the only two really that are defending their titles at Night of
Right.
Champions.
Hey, you know what? Let SmackDown take center stage on this one. You know what I'm saying? Raw's taking a night off. It seems like at Night of Champions.
You may think, or will we get a surprise because not only are those titles being defended, but we are crowning two new. Yeah, two. Are we crowning? Is that the right way to say it? Are we crowning the? Yeah, we are crowning the king and queen on
Right.
Night of Champions,
Yes.
and which, by the way, the winner will face either world champion.
Yeah. But yeah, I think you're right. We're crowning new King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring winners in this scenario. Yeah, definitely.
With one being the runner-up last year. We will
Yes.
get that and much, much more, right? But hey, let's talk about champions because it's Night of Champions. We're
Right.
even going to talk about champions that are not even involved in Night of Champions.
Okay.
Okay. But first, yeah, let's go ahead and start off with look at these beautiful belts. All right.
Mm,
Yeah, it's the new era of these championship belts. But John Cena wants to walk away as the real champion of WWE to ruin WWE, to ruin all champions, for everyone to start all over because he is leaving with all the legacy with him. Do you believe John Cena would do such a thing, or are we just waiting for the next person in which he passes the torch? What do you think?
who's he passing the torch to? I
Hmm.
mean, who is there to pass the torch on to right now? Really, I am convinced that he is walking away with that title, just like CM Punk did.
I doubt it. I think by the time the within 24 hours, my prediction is that Seth freaking Rollins is going to cash in on John Cena. I really do. I think that he's going to curb stop him, put a stop to that madness, and he's going to take it, only to get it taken away from him.
Mm,
I,
I don't know.
I honestly, why would John Cena have a promo to put Seth Rollins' name in his mouth?
I don't know. I just don't see Seth Rollins unless the only way I see that happening if unless you transition that title over to Monday Night Raw.
Of course.
If you're gonna transition titles, then yeah, there is a possibility that Seth Rollins do that. You know,
Mhm.
but then if you do that, then are you going to transition Cena back to the face that people like? You see what I'm saying? Because you ain't gonna do a heel versus a heel type of situation here. I do
Mm.
not see that happening. I really don't.
I don't know, man. It's unpredictable right now with John Cena, right? Because we thought that he was going to turn a little bit, right?
Right.
When he got that thank you chant from the fans, and you saw him staring at the belt, staring at the ring. We thought we was gonna get a glimpse of that turn, and then it just went out the window. So there you have it. There, I would have been mad if he stays and finish it as a heel, only to like when he says he's going to retire, then he'll just go to the ring, hats off, leave his stuff in the middle of the ring, and just walk away. I think that will be best for business.
I think so too. Walk away with the
Right.
title, finish it
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
I'm
But we'll
I'm okay with it.
more between him and CM Punk. As we'll talk about that later as part of our takeaway. Uh, Gunther, Gunther. I don't know. You pick
Potato,
and choose how
potato.
you want that vowel there, right? Gunther is putting his mouth, or shall I say, Goldberg is trying to finish his story because apparently a while back in Atlanta, Gunther disrespected Goldberg. Now at Saturday Night Main Event, it will be in Atlanta, and Goldberg wants to finish him off. This is his retirement. This is his last official match for Goldberg. It really is, and we know how that's gonna go.
Gunther, in my opinion, is going to have to carry this match. Goldberg is not fit to be in that ring anymore. We seen that when he wrestled the Undertaker. It was a disaster waiting to happen. If this match is not over within the first 2 minutes, Goldberg style, then Gunther is going to beat him. But Gunther, you really literally have to let Gunther lead this match seriously, because Goldberg is going to hurt himself.
It's
He
going to
is
be two sides of this story. It is. I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna take your words. The first 2 minutes, all Goldberg. He's going to spear him. There's only one thing that Goldberg is not going to be prepared of. He's going to be. He's going to get out. It's not going to be a 1, 2, 3 on Gunther. He is going to go out. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't be surprised that after all that, and like you said, Hector, he gonna get hurt. You don't get hurt by putting him in a sleeper. He gonna
I,
put him to sleep.
I can see that. I can see Goldberg going to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
I can see it.
Absolutely. Yes.
This just to me, it does more for Gunther than it does Goldberg.
Right.
Seriously.
Elevates him a little bit. Here he get flirt bit with the legend. All right. But again, who is next to take down Gunther? Who is next to challenge him for the heavyweight title?
I mean, I'm thinking it's going to be Seth Rollins. If you keep that title there, if you don't transition that title to SmackDown, I think it's going to be Seth Rollins. And in my opinion, between now and WrestleMania, we could see a small possibility that Gunther winds up changing sides. He could be a fan favorite.
He might be a fan favorite after he finished Goldberg because, again, I don't think a lot of fans are like pumped up for a Goldberg match.
Yeah, no, I
I
mean,
didn't feel it.
no, we're not feeling Goldberg anymore, dude. He's
Mm.
just he.
Oh man, dude, trying to
That's
like
what. Yeah,
reset himself. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he got grandkids now that's trying to watch in. I don't know.
he's pushing
Um,
60, dude. You're not ring ready anymore, man. I'm sorry.
hey, uh, that's what's going on there. If anything, I'll see Braun Breaker versus Gunther. I like to see that match,
That'd be good. That'd be good.
but Seth Rollins has to be the champion first.
Right.
And if he goes after the undisputed championship, then I could see Braun Breaker going after Gunther and trying to do something in which Roman Reigns did, except instead of him having all the belts, it's almost like everyone's being distributed with all the belts, right?
Mm.
So we'll see on that. Let's go to the next champion, Io Sky, the women's world champion. Um, Successful. Could have seen more, but I feel like the priority is not with her anymore right now. I think more is geared to the Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah, she is really a dud right now. She's low key. She's quiet. There's nothing going on. I don't want to see that belt on her right now. She's not drawing any attention or attraction on Raw with that title. She's just, to me, just someone holding that title.
I think we would have seen Liv Morgan versus Io Sky, but Liv Morgan being hurt, that kind of
Right,
like put a damper into things.
right,
Rhea Ripley now going against Raquel. I think that was supposed to happen. You
right,
know, get Liv Morgan into a heavyweight championship match, which was supposed to, right?
right.
And then you had Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez because all the interference and everything. Now we got that match for Night of Champions. So there's a lot of twist here. Hey, Io Sky, she is, but she's ready to wrestle. She's not shying away from anybody. But I think that if I would throw something out there, I will probably like have Naomi cash in the Money in the Bank briefcase on her instead of waiting. Now, watch this. It could be that Jade Cargill, if she was to win, either Jade Cargill or Asuka, could manage to go against Io Sky. And that'll be pretty interesting.
It could be.
Because at this era, really, I mean, besides John Cena, everybody else is on hold for SummerSlam.
Right.
So we could see, matter of fact, we could see a cash in at SummerSlam like Io Sky did when she cashed in during SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I'm leaning on that one. I'm leaning on that.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Yeah, yeah. How about Tiffy time? Tiffany Stratton. Is her time almost up?
I don't think so. I wanted to believe that at first with Naomi having that briefcase, but I don't think so. I think she's just peaking right now. I think I give her at least another year before she loses that title.
You think she'll last on to WrestleMania?
I think she can. I think she can. I think she will. I think it's just going to be a flirt with Naomi between now and then. I think it just needs more of a build-up if Naomi is going to cash in, because we still got to see what Cargill is going to play in and all this, at Night of Champions against Asuka, because we're talking about if Cargill wins, now she becomes the queen of the ring. Now she got a shot at a title. Do she go after Tiffy, knowing that Naomi is still out there? But if she does not win, where does that leave Cargill at? You see what I'm saying? So now does that leave her out the picture? So there's variables there, right there. So that's why I think that Tiffy is safe right now with that title.
I'm going to ask you the same question when we do our prediction. You're getting ahead of me. Yeah. You are. Yeah. You are. Dominic Mysterio, Intercontinental Champion. What's up with Dirty Dom, bro? He's definitely looking like a Dirty Sanchez right now.
Yeah, I was just kind of disappointed that he had his mustache injury. That's why he couldn't make it to Saudi Arabia. It was disappointing.
I think it's political.
Yeah,
I think a lot has to do with because of what's going on around the world that they're minimizing personnel to fly to Saudi Arabia. Yeah, there are changes, even though the show is still going on because a lot of money is being invested for this PLE.
Yeah.
But I do think, it's not confirmed, but I do believe that they cut their roster for travel purposes. And even though right now it's a ceasefire, but anything could erupt, right?
Right. Yeah, and it's understandable, but I thought it was just funny how AJ Styles said what injury to his mustache, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
I'm just still waiting for AJ Styles to win that title, and I believe he will.
I think that's what we're saying.
Finn Balor is a sneaky fella. Just saying.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
Yeah.
So this story is slowly developing, just like Austin Theory, right? And his former tag team. Well, I don't even know what they are anymore because they always argue. You know what I mean? So, but Jacob Fatu, the United States champion, will be defending his title. But it seems like no matter what the result is, it's still the United States champion is still going to be kept by the bloodline.
Yeah, regardless, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it looks like he may have a little ally on his side now, with Jimmy Uso.
Yeah, but you know what I don't get is why. We don't know why. He just showed up. Why?
Yeah.
after all the wars and everything else, and all of a sudden you're siding with Jacob Fatu. But
Well,
again, the story takes place that they didn't want Jacob Fatu in the picture.
right.
The bloodline, the original bloodline, they didn't want that part of the family to be involved. And now that they're there, right? He's the only one that stood out.
Yeah.
All gas, no brakes?
All gas, no brakes. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And then you got the women's intercontinental champion. Um,
The man, Becky Lynch.
no, I just don't like this. I don't like this at all. And then what common sense does Lyle Vicaria have? Like, what happened? What they it's like you tell somebody stay in the corner, they don't want to stay in the corner. They
Right.
just go somewhere. Or hey, do your work. Oh no, you're just wandering off, you know? Like,
Mhm.
what are you doing? You were the intercontinental champion, but you're acting like, I don't know, like you have no common sense whatsoever. You mean to tell me you couldn't just watch the match and the winner, you go after that winner?
No, she let the emotions get the best of her, and she let Becky Lynch get into her head about that. So, and now it's just making things worse because I think low key she's jealous of Bailey, and she don't want to see Bailey win that title. And I think
Well,
that's
I
going to
don't think she
erupt.
wants anyone to have that title but her, and I totally understand. And the way things went out, like supposedly that she got cheated from losing the Intercontinental Championship, which by evidence I didn't see anything, right? Michael Cole trying to claim that she held on to her clothing or whatever. But if you replay it, I didn't see that angle. I didn't see anything that proved
Yeah,
anything, you know. But I get it. I do get it. And I like the new attitude that Lyra had, but then it's almost kind of like regress. Like, yo, what happened? What happened here? You know, I like that big and badass. Now you're like being soft, like, oh, what was mine? I don't know. It's crazy. Call the Wambulance, man. I mean, come on. Let's get real. I want to see some real woman go after it.
I
Not
think
like some chump.
I think it's just evident that they're setting up a triple threat match eventually
Yeah,
between these
yeah.
three.
What's evident also is that we soon will get a new women's United States champion. All right. Zelina Vega, yes, holding the title. Not that much defense. I mean, there's so much that you could go against Chelsea Green and the crew, but Julia,
Ju-
that's
Ju-
her name.
Julia,
Yeah. She's going to be the next champion. She is badass.
I like Julia. I think she
Oh,
deserves it. Hey, look, this little run for Selena Vega, put her in a spotlight, deserving. Okay,
yeah.
cool. But yeah, I think it's time to put it around somebody that's going to hold it for a longer period of time. That's going to make relevancy of that title.
Yes, and especially the new woman superstars coming in, like
Yeah,
Stephanie Vaquer. Oh, the beauty
yeah.
is there. Yeah,
She's another one that's eventually going to be a future champion. Yeah,
exactly. The two belt champion, just like she did in NXT. I can
yeah.
see it. Yes. All right, the tag team champions, the New Day. I'm not a big fan of the tag team division on Raw. I'm not. I'm just not liking it. I know it's developing. They need somebody to take charge of it, and no other than the New Day, right? I'm not liking it, but I like this. The Street Profits. I like where this is going on SmackDown. It's slow start, but I like to see something fresh. I'm tired of seeing the same people trying to go after the titles.
You know, I don't see the YS6 winning these tag titles. I just think I just have a weird feeling that all this is just going to wind up causing all these tag teams to having to coexist with each other somehow, some way in the
Yeah.
ring. You know, like one member of each team to having the tag with each other just to go up against the YS6 because they're the ones that is wreaking havoc here. I don't think the goal really means anything to the YS6. I
I
really
don't
don't.
even know what the goal is period on both sides of the tag team division, because it's not like back in the Attitude Era. It's not like when we had the tables, ladder, and chairs where we saw the dominance of the tag team division.
Right.
You know, it's almost like the filler. Let's go. Now we got to get these things out the way. It's not like every week we see a tag team match. That's the thing. Like, that's not a priority right now. So I can understand there's a big story development, but there's no legit storyline for anyone to make it meaningful.
Yeah, and that's why
Honestly,
I don't think they lose the titles anytime soon.
I think the last time we actually legitimately had a great storyline was the New Day versus the Usos.
Yeah.
I mean, again, that's my opinion.
Right.
But, you know, we'll see where it goes. I'm hoping that something comes up, but nothing. And then on top of all that, you have Liv Morgan and Raquel, or currently are the women's tag team champions, but with Liv Morgan being out 3 to 6 months, how come you have not relinquished this title yet? Then again, who's in the women's tag team division? Zero. Why are you holding titles when the division doesn't exist? Send that back to NXT. Send it back. Send it back.
I'm surprised they didn't disband the titles already. That's what's crazy.
There's no room. None. Unless, and watch this. If you take all the women superstars for the Evolution Part 2, and let's crown a real tag team champions. Maybe that was the original plan. But since Liv Morgan is out, let's go ahead and relinquish the title, create it. Let's do it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right. All right, here we go. Top 10. And this is my top 10 for and you can follow us on the hhwshow.com on the rankings for both men and women. I decided to combine everything together. Start with number 10. I got LA Knight. Number 9, Randy Orton. Number 8, CM Punk. Number 7, Io Sky. Number 6, Braun Breaker. Number 5, Cody Rhodes. Number 4, Lyra Valkyria. Number 3, Tiffany Stratton. Number 2, Seth freaking Rollins. And number 1, John Cena. Now, this is all based on since day one of this year. And of course, the title matches have more weight, and it's all including about victories, the victories itself. All right. Now, maybe a lot will have to where, hey, what about this guy and so? You know, let's talk about it, because we could talk about easily. LA Knight has the most wins so far. Tiffany Stratton and Penta are tied with 11 wins so far. LA Knight, Tiffany Stratton, and Penta, the only 3 superstars with double-digit wins. However, how valuable are these matches? Okay, and that's why we don't see Penta there. And then, of course, with all the stipulations and everything else, it just, you know, again, that's how I got my top 10. All right, and it's combined with both men and women. So I'll ask you, Hector, do you agree, disagree, or am I missing someone that should be in this picture?
Starting off with number 10, LA Knight. I like that. I'm just kind of at awe that he's being outranked by a lot of veterans there, but that's okay. He's still got a lot of work to do, but he's on the right track. He's got a lot of great mic skills, great in-ring performance. He gets the crowd going. I'm even going to throw it out there. He's got great merchandise. You know what I'm saying? Very, very colorful merchandise, you know, to say the least. And so, you know, you can see when he presents himself in the ring, you know, on that mic, you can see a little bit of certain superstars from the past but he makes it his own. So that's what makes him who he is. And so a 2-time United States champion and a future WWE champion, I like it. I mean, him in the top 10, that's great. You know, we're going down to Randy Orton. Dude, he to me is past his prime. I don't even know why what is he holding on to? Yeah, he's a legend himself. Okay, I get it. He's trying to hold on to what? To try to catch up to John Cena. In my opinion, that is not going to happen. His clock is ticking. It's tick tock for him, and he's running out of time. The sand in the hourglass is literally running out for him. The injury bug has hit him so hard. I really don't know where his angle is anymore. I don't believe he's a champion. I really don't. I think between now and his retirement, he's just going to be that much so close to becoming a champion, but not going to be a champion. I'm sorry. To be at number 9, yeah. I don't know what you see in him to be number 9, but okay. With CM Punk at 8, yeah, because he's on fire. Ever since he's been back, to me, he's really sparked himself. He took himself, he leveled himself up, from the Punk that we used to know from the pipe bomb era, and he's taking it to a whole different level. He's acknowledged who he used to be, and he's shown us that he hasn't changed, and we can still expect to see the same old Punk, but a more wiser Punk. And to me, it's not so much about championships. It's about right now just trying to take down John Cena in such of a way, in my opinion. And he's had a lot of other great matches like he had with Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre, a lot of great matches there. So, yeah, okay, I can see him there. But Io Sky, dude, I have not seen anything out of her since she's won that title. I really don't. I'm really bored of her. I really don't see anything out of her, and I really don't want her to see her as a champion, honestly. So for her to be in the top 10, I think I would have gave it to I would have slotted somebody else in that spot, maybe like Roxanne Perez or somebody like that who's trying their best to make a name for themselves, in the women's division right now. But that's just my opinion. But I respect that, there's a reason why you put her there at number 7. With Braun Breaker, look, this guy is just on a whole different level. For him to lose the Intercontinental title and now join forces with Seth Rollins, is just going to make him more dangerous, and he's already shown that. He is just a force to be reckoned with. And I was just telling this to somebody the other day that he's a mixture of his dad and his uncle together, and that is dangerous. Okay, that's just somebody you don't want to be messing around with right now, and everybody's getting a taste of that, from LA Knight to Penta. Everybody's getting a taste of it, and that's what's dangerous about him. Cody Rhodes at number 5. I guess him in the middle of the pack there. Yeah, okay, he is still the American Nightmare. Still trying to chase John Cena for that title, I guess you can say so, kind of doing it kind of quietly in a way. Okay, he's cool, no problem. Got a chance to get this King of the Ring, but he's got to face Randy Orton to get that. And so, yeah, I mean, he's not making a lot of noise, but so I can respect him being in the middle of the pack there. Lyra Valkyria, definitely number 4. She's making a lot of heat wave there, coming from NXT up to the main roster, and doing her thing, especially with the Lucha Libre style wrestling there. She's definitely going to be somebody that we can look up to in the women's division. That's going to be the next Charlotte Flair or Becky Lynch or Bayley. She's going to be around for a long time, and we're going to see multiple titles around her waist. Tiffany Stratton, I think she's definitely going to be the new face in the women's division, being the champion that she is. Like I said, she's not losing that title anytime soon. So for her being the top 3, that's pretty cool. I like it. That just shows that, she's doing things good for herself. Even though she kind of looked like still like a Barbie doll type of face, but that's good for the little girls out there, to strive to be something, that you could be anything when you grow up and stuff. So, she's definitely taking it to a whole different level. That's good for the women's division. And so kudos to her. Seth Rollins, I think, is slotted at number two for a good reason. In my opinion, he is definitely the future of the business itself. I think he is definitely the next mantle of the business. You're talking about the next Hogan's, the next Rock, the next Stone Cold, the next Cena's. This is the man we're talking about right now. Okay, but the only one that's in his way that you have at number one is John Cena, and so yeah, you have the right number one at the moment. We could say the greatest of all time at this point. We'll see what happens after he leaves. But definitely, once John Cena leaves, I would definitely slot Seth Rollins as number one in the business today.
I'm going to say that I Seth Rollins needs to watch his back, and I don't think Bronson Reed or Braun Breaker are enough when OTC returns, and that's just my opinion. I think
Right.
it's well known that Roman Reigns is the top dog of WWE, and Seth Rollins number two. And a
Right.
lot of people voted that way. I,
Right.
for myself, disagree. I've always had thought that Seth Rollins was the guy because he's always there every single time. I feel like Seth Rollins is playing a role like John Cena was playing a role when he first became world champion, and then his PG era belonged to him. I feel like this is Seth Rollins. You know what I mean? But then again, there's nothing wrong having Rollins and Reigns together on top of WWE.
No, it's not. I mean, you think about it and the different eras that we've seen in the WWE growing up. You've always had to have that number one and number two always going at it with each other, right? We've seen
Right.
Hogan and Macho Man go at it so many times, and we always knew Macho Man was going to take the backseat to Hogan. We knew that.
Mm-hmm.
But when The Rock and Stone Cold went at it so many times, the question was who literally took the backseat to the other one, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we had that. And so you're right. We got that now. It's the Rollins and the Reigns. We have to have that.
Right.
That makes the business. That makes the business because and then to surround them too with a cast of all-star superstars that makes them two better at what they do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because The Rock and Stone Cold, they had the attitude era and they had the ruthless aggression era around them to help them, right? They had the Kurt Angles, they had the Undertakers, they had the Triple H, the Shawn Michaels, all those other second tier superstars who are former world champions that helped build them up to the mantles. You
Right.
see, so we got that.
Yes. Yeah. I agree. Now I know you questioned Randy Orton. You think he's past his prime, but
Yeah,
the thing about Randy Orton is that when he has a match, is a major match. It's a valuable match, and he comes on top. Yeah, he was injury prone and everything else, but he is still the top dog. Okay, his goal really is to go after John Cena. It's not so much of the championship belt. He might be mentioning to be a 15-time world champion, right? But his goal for all the words that John Cena used about his family is more of him getting back. And that is his goal. And he says the same speech over and over again when he had all his crew in the middle of the ring. He told Cody Rhodes, he told Jay Uso, he told Sami Zayn, it doesn't matter. Once you get in the ring with him, it's more than just business. He's taking it personal, you know. And I'm sure Cody Rhodes it's taking it personal too for how he lost the title. He wants a piece of it. And what are the odds of them two going at it? And we're going to talk about that once we get there. All right. So John Cena, number one. I hear you. I hear you. Overall, my top five for the men's is Cena, Rollins, Punk, Breaker, and Rhodes. And for the women's, I got Stratton, Valkyria, Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, and Selena Vega for now. But all that could change after this PLE. We're moving on with our prediction show. Okay. And we'll spill all the beans and everything else on this one. And this is fire. Regardless of how you see it and how it was developed, I'm liking these matches. And we'll start when I'm predicting should start off. I know it's a street fight, But Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez. I'm predicting that it will start. Not necessarily it's true. It could be the second one, right? Um, but I have Rhea Ripley winning this match. When it comes to revenge and everything else, there's nothing that Raquel has me convinced that she's capable of stopping Rhea Ripley right now.
I respect what you're saying. I just think Raquel is going to have help here. This is a street fight, meaning anything goes. So I'm leaning. I hate to say it, but I'm leaning towards Raquel Rodriguez in this one because I think Roxanne is going to find her way in this to help her win this match, just to try to prove a point that she's trying to replace Liv Morgan. Um, Raquel doesn't like it, but I think she will accept it, just to try to have an upper hand on Rhea Ripley. So I'm going to swallow it on this one, and I'm going with Raquel Rodriguez on this one.
I'm going for the limited edition, man. If Dominic Mysterio's not there, what makes you think Roxanne Perez is going to show up?
Yeah, I know that's true too. That's true too, but we don't know for sure. We don't know.
know nothing. I need the roster by tomorrow. Okay, I have to call the airport. Be like, who's on flight? If you got real names, I'll look up their real names too. All right, already a difference on the first match, man. I think that's the first because normally we start having differences toward the end. But okay, all right. The United States Championship is on the line. Jacob Fatu defends his title against Solo Sikoa. All brakes. I'm sorry, all gas, no brakes, right? But I think Solo's trying to pull the brakes on that one. Who you got in this match?
I got Jacob Fatu. I got the Samoan Werewolf.
Yeah, I do too. Look, he went in his face and challenged. He offered that challenge. Okay, now if JC Romero shows up, I don't think it's going to make difference. I think this guy's a clumsy dude anyway. I don't know what Solo Sikoa was thinking about drafting him to the team when he's not even the blood, but it is what it is. And then they changed his name, that dude's name, to a Hispanic name, which kills me right now. So he doesn't even know what he is. But I agree with you. I got Jacob Fatu in this, man. There's no way he gives up this belt. But I do got to say that when I was tuning into another podcast, I got to give a big shout out to SCW Steve. I love his podcast. And I got to say, I disagree with your picking Solo Sikoa. But I'm telling you right now, if he was to win this match and be the champion, I will go on the next episode and acknowledge you. I would acknowledge you. Okay. All right. Maybe a 15-second clip or 30-second clip. I don't care. I will. I'll raise my right hand. I'll be a delay because I'll be out of town this weekend. Know what I mean? But Jacob Fatu, baby. This is Jacob Fatu. How you pick against him? He gonna do backflips and backflips and backflips. And more backflips.
Yeah, don't forget about the backflip. Yeah.
And then another backflip. He's gonna backflip so much, this guy's gonna end up in the bottom of the ring. He gonna disappear like he disappeared when he lost to OTC. Just saying. Another match, Sami Zayn, which he's gonna be in open arms with the whole crowd in Saudi Arabia versus Karrion Kross. Scarlett's on his side. I'm picking Karrion Kross to win this match. I think Sami Zayn is not thinking outside the box, and that's going to cost him in this match. Even though he is going to be a crowd favorite, Karrion Kross, this is his coming to his rise right now. This is his spotlight.
Yeah, finally he gets a PLE and he finally gets a match that we all can watch. And yeah, he psychologically got it to his head. So he enjoyed taking that punch to the jaw. So yeah, he's got Sammy right where he wants him.
It almost looked like he was a punk until then he dropped his hand and Scott was like, man, stop playing around. What you doing? That was just an itch. I like it. I like it a lot. I like it. All right, moving on to the Queen of the Ring tournament, the finals. Jade Cargill versus Asuka. I thought this long and hard. I did lose. I'm gonna tell you, I already got an L on the Queen of the Ring prediction. I thought Roxanne Perez was the one to win it, but how everything's developed with Asuka returning and everything else, this is for Jade Cargill. She is the queen, setting up for a future match besides the world championship that she could choose at SummerSlam. This is going to set up for a future event. Jade Cargill is going to win. And before I tell you a future, Hector, who is your pick?
I got Oscar.
Ooh-wee.
I got Oscar, and I think what's going to happen after the fact, not that night, but after the fact, I think Oscar's going to wind up turning.
She's just a twin. It's not going to be much there, man. I don't
because I just don't, because that title around Io Sky is not doing me, or I don't think it's doing anybody else any good. I think the title looks better on Asuka. So I think with Asuka winning, and I think she's going to wind up turning on Io. That whole friendship, that whole damage control crap, it's all out the window. Asuka's going to turn on Io. But I think
for her to come back at the last second just to do something like that, I would like more of. Look, I hate when you do that, man.
But this is going to be a good match. This is going to be a really good match.
It better be, and it's for Jade Cargill because I trust Asuka. Jade Cargill better bring her A game.
Yes,
just saying, because there are some areas where I'd be questioning on, what are you doing? Especially that match with Roxanne Perez. That wasn't all pretty, but it was doable, right? And I think Roxanne Perez did her very best to have Jade Cargill have the upper hand. I just didn't like the finishing. I didn't. Right. I didn't like it at all, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. But in my mentality is that she is the queen, and then she goes after the heavyweight title or the women's title, whatever, that Naomi's going to be on her back and cash in the Money in the Bank briefcase. She's going to cash it in on Jade Cargill. That is my prediction. My spoiler alert. Hello.
That's good. That's a good one. I like that. I really do. That makes a lot of sense.
However, my dream match is Jade Cargill versus Charlotte Flair. The queen versus the queen. That has a touch. That is so lovely right now.
That has a good ring to it. Yeah.
Yes. All right. Okay. We're split on this one. Now let's talk about the King of the Ring tournament between Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. Who's your pick?
I was thinking, you talk about that. I was thinking long and hard on this one too, because after what happened to Randy Orton last year and him, falling short in the finals against Gunther, which of course, he got kind of screwed out of on that one. Randy said he's going to do everything in his power. It's no limit to him, whatever he's got to do, whatever it takes to win this match. And I really thought long and hard about it. Can he really lose 2 years in a row back to back like this? Be like the Buffalo Bills or the Super Bowl.
It could happen.
Like, but the thing is, I just don't see Cody losing cleanly to Randy Orton. So I'm going with you can. I can't.
I can't.
I don't. And that's why I'm going with Cody Rhodes here. I see the American Nightmare being the king of the ring here. I didn't even see Cody beating Gunther, you know what I'm saying? Champion versus champion. And that even happened. That happened. And I thought that Gunther had the momentum going into that match. But here we are. So I got Cody Rhodes. I got Cody Rhodes winning this match over Randy Orton. And so
I respect that. I really do, because I thought long and hard also. I also thought that Randy Orton could lose the same way he lost last year. And being in Saudi Arabia, referee not looking that his shoulder was not all the way down to the mat, and he gets caught up again. And that's going to be frustrating. And every time Randy Orton comes so close SmackDown General Manager Nick Aldis gets the RKO.
Yep, write him another check because he's gonna get another one.
I
So who
don't
you got?
want it to happen again. I really don't. I want this. And you made it to the semifinals last year. You're right. The NFL Buffalo Bills went to the Super Bowl 4 times in a row and lost, but runner up all the time. Liv Morgan has been runner up many, many times. And now you got Randy Orton, the Viper. And because of the storyline, it's hard. It's hard. I am picking Randy Orton on this one. I am. I have a gut feeling that I'm wrong, but I'm gonna stick to my gun from the very beginning. I like it. Once Randy Orton won the what's it call it? The fatal 4-way, I was like, okay, that's a wrap. He's going to the finals. The question was who, right? And I didn't think Cody Rhodes would make it to the finals because I thought maybe there'll be outside interference. That didn't happen. And then what are the odds of him going against Jey Uso? Which, by the way, Jey Uso was the last minute. I thought Drew McIntyre would have been in there. If Drew McIntyre was in this match, he would be the one automatically favored to win the King of the Ring. And would be best fitting. Okay, that's like a restart, like you restarting a battery or something like that. That would have been for Drew, but for this one, either or, they both got beef and are chasing John Cena. But who is Mr. SummerSlam? Who is Mr. SummerSlam? The person with the most wins, the best winning percentage of all time, is no other than Randy Orton. And who is the worst person on SummerSlam? John Cena. But then again, when John Cena and Randy Orton did match earlier this year, it was supposed to be the very last match. We never heard that it was going to be the very last match for John Cena and Cody Rhodes.
Right.
So that's why I say 80%, 90% really the vote is for Cody Rhodes. I think Cody Rhodes is the favorite. But my heart tells me, man, Randy, I want to see another Randy Orton and John Cena match. I really do.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I know I was long-winded on that one, but it's just so much to be able to explain. And how did I decide, knowing that what's the evidence in front of you, and yet I'm not going with the evidence. I'm going right here. The Viper, all the way.
You had me at hello.
Yeah, I had you at hello. I'm gonna keep it PG right now. And the thing is, we got what? 5 matches? Was it 5 matches? Yes, because one of the matches got pulled out, right? The Intercontinental Championship is not happening. That's going to be later on because supposedly injuries for Dominic Mysterio. So there would have been 6 matches, only 5 matches. And out of 5 matches, only one we agree on, and that's Jacob Fatu. We are definitely going to have a winner. We might find out the winner before the main event. That's the clincher right there.
I don't think
whoever wins 3 wins Night of Champions.
Have we ever had one like this on the show that we've ever had this much disagreement before? Good night.
To narrow it down to just one agreement, I mean, that's got to be an all-timer.
So we got 5 matches and we disagreed on 4.
Yeah. No.
Dude, can we still technically come into a tie?
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. That's why I said whoever reaches 3 wins because 3 will clinch. So absolutely. Yeah. Let's see how this goes.
For real.
Damn. I will be in Atlanta anyway, so you can text me. Let me know. I'll have it on my phone. Yeah. Probably watching baseball while I'm watching Night of Champions at the same time. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking about, LA Knight out for a while. That hurts. I'm sure he's hurting too. It's all right. But let's go ahead and close out our show because we gotta do the takeaway. And by all means, this takeaway, whoo-wee. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to find my notes here because I don't want to lose it. Here we go. Here we go. All right. So the takeaway. We all know about John Cena and his pipe bomb promo that he did. And it was outstanding. I didn't expect it. I don't think anybody did. But if he flipped the script, because remember when CM Punk many years ago did a pipe bomb on John Cena, he was laid out. And it was almost the same way. It's a mirror image. And as I explained, Hector, that it was like a black mirror, right? Now the roles are switched and everything else. And did John Cena say the truth? Did he? Yeah. You know what? Nothing that John Cena has said was untrue. Everything he's been saying and all his plan is working with him. He's doing it. Okay. So everybody's talking it. Even till now, everyone's talking like, "Oh my God, did you see this?" John Cena's mic dropped promo on CM Punk for SmackDown. Look, when the GOAT gets a live mic and Punk is the topic, you know you're getting something. It's gonna be spectacular. Cena didn't just cut a promo; he gave up a straight up verbal power bomb, and he did. He did. And I have to quote on this one. CM Punk calls himself the voice of the voiceless, but the truth is, you stop listening the second the spotlight wasn't all on you. That was deep. That line, cold, calculated, vintage Cena. He didn't yell, he didn't bark. He surgically dismantled Punk's whole "I came back for the people" gimmick in one sentence. What Cena did was turn the mirror around and expose the insecurity that Punk hides behind rebellion. He went on to say that Punk walked out again and again while Cena stayed. He never left. And that loyalty isn't just WWE, it's to the fans, the locker room, and the legacy of what it means to be the face of the company. The big takeaway, this feud isn't about a title, it's about identity and legacy. Cena wants to prove he is still the WWE. Punk wants to prove that he still matters in WWE. And one man returned to finish the story. Well, the other came back to rewrite someone else's. And that right there, drop the mic because that was the takeaway. It is what it is. And what can you say? That this Night of Champions, the main event, is going to be an awesome rivalry. And that's the rivalry that's going to end the tiebreaker. John
Yep.
Cena will remain the WWE World Undisputed Heavyweight Champion.
I like it. Talking about
Word.
greatest rivals between greatest rivalries. You got to put these two right up there. And it all
Absolutely.
started, and to me, it started right there, 2011, and Money in the Bank with these two.
Yeah. And to go after, I mean, look, you could talk about the history and all the words exchange and everything else. So when they both had the WWE titles, I mean, a lot has happened. And I didn't even talk about John Cena mentioning other superstars when he mentioned their real names.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Zack Ryder's real name, Dolph Ziggler's real name, Cesaro. Like he just started name dropping everybody. Okay. And you know the rumors out there that John Cena was all about him and this and that. Well, I'm a firm believer that everything that John Cena said was, dude, you didn't do enough to take that away from me. You didn't. Because if you did, you would be selling merchandise. You would have been doing this. You would have been doing that. You know, John Cena to me, and this is my opinion. I don't have facts. I don't have the data. But if you was to compare him with Hulk Hogan, John Cena is by far on top. People talk about Mount Rushmore.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe you could take Hulk Hogan out of that picture and put John Cena right there. for what everyone's saying, Hulk Hogan was very selfish. You're talking about an unselfish person that's giving you the platform. Or when he returns, why did he return? It wasn't to kill or to make somebody else look bad. The company want him back. There's a reason. And by all means, when John Cena came back and that big surprise, dude, I was happy as hell. I was. He is the GOAT. In my book, in my perspective, he is the GOAT. Will there be another GOAT? Absolutely. But right now, yeah, we could talk about The Undertaker. We could talk about everybody else. But even Undertaker himself has said, John Cena is the GOAT. And if he's the GOAT, then why are we calling everybody else the best of the world? Ain't the GOAT the best of the world?
Yeah.
And that's all. That's all we have for this show. Thank you for listening to the HHW Show podcast. It's the Hard Hitting Wrestling Show. Tune in this weekend. Let's see who's right. Do I got this title, or does Hector run away with the title? I'm trying to. I don't even know where we are. Ain't we tied right now? Overall,
I think we're overall tied. Yeah.
Yeah. It's time for me to redeem myself and be the overall king of the podcast here. I have to create this title. Where my title at? There it is, right here. Looking in the back, right there. Got my 3 titles back there waiting for me. It's outshining. What you got over there? What you got over there?
What I mean.
Yeah. I love this show, man. All right. Thank you for watching, everyone. You gotta love some wrestling, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.